So area is covered in section 5.1 of your textbook. You've also got a beautiful web assignment filled with lots of graphs. You're going to be helping yourself by sketching graphs. If you can't remember how to, use in this lovely website, desmos.com. The main thrust of this section is that to find the area between two curves, take the top function minus the bottom function as your integrand. And if you're going from the smaller to the larger endpoint, this will always give you a positive value. And area should be positive. This is a good thing. So there's an example with the functions below the x-axis. And I would write the area bounded by those two functions, since they touched, was the top function minus the bottom function. This you can evaluate. The dx is telling you that these endpoints are x values. All right, so here's another example. If I want the area between red curve and blue curve from that point of intersection to x equals 2, if x equals 2 is not, the graphs don't actually touch here, so I take x equal 2 to be one of the boundary lines of the area. It's simply top function minus bottom function from the left x point to the right one. You're done. Right, another example. I just used Google to get the graph for this one. I want the area between straight line function and trig function from there to there. In this case, what is the top function when I'm going from x equals 0 to x equals, here is x equals 4. I have a different top function, so I have to split that region into two so that I can make use of top minus bottom. That's only from 0 to that point, which I just zoomed in to read the number value for. Plus, from that point to the end, top minus bottom. And zippity zap into some calculator and you'll get an answer. This one you could even work by hand. Watch the signs. Right, last example. This one is juicy. We've got two functions that, three bound the area, but these two are given with different values as the subject. Now you can't integrate a mixture of letters. So I'm going to have to choose, am I integrating this one with respect to x, in which case I'll be thinking of it as top minus bottom, top minus bottom, top minus bottom, or am I thinking of it in terms of y, when I'm going from turn your head 90 degrees and go from right to left, because now that's the bigger y values down to the smaller y values. Big to small, big to small. If I'm using dy and shifting your head 90 degrees to look at it with horizontal lines, I'll be integrating dy from the small y value to the bigger y value, which is that point of intersection. I needed a bit of technology help to calculate what that point of intersection was. I just went to Wolfram Alpha. We'll see below. Before you can even start though, you need to be able to sketch this curve. That one you can do using a shift. If you think of the basic root function, fifth root is similar to a square root function. And because, okay, and it shifted to -1. How would you know that it's just in the top quadrant? Well, because you're bound in by y equals 0. That suggests you're going to be either above or below. And maybe when you draw this one, you'd start to see the picture. This is a parabola sitting on its side. So to get this, you'd say it's a negative parabola. It's similar like a minus x squared parabola. That would be a sad looking one, going down with the y-axis as the central point. This is going to be the same with the positive x-axis as the central point, and this one is shifted a bit. You can get some ideas of how to sketch this by doing what I'm doing over here, which is also making y the subject of the formula. By zapping it into the quadratic formula, there comes my y equals expression. And we can now interpret this in terms of shifts if you like, thinking about square root functions. Also notice I'm only dealing with the bottom half of this one because that's where it intersects. Honestly, to try and start these ones, it would be useful to do the sketch of both functions using some technology to see where you're going. I'm more interested that you can set up the integrals. In order to do that, you need to have a picture. Right, so if I'm going to integrate this dx, I have to split the region, because here I've got a top function, a bottom function, and as soon as I cross here, it goes from a top function to a different bottom function. So when I'm going from -1 to 0, that's the function, and the bottom function is just 0, so I don't have to write it in. Then I'll have to add green area, which is going from, okay, so here's the problem now. If I'm going to do it dx, all I needed to do was get my y. There it is. And I've got my little y function. I don't have the plus and minus, because otherwise it's not a function. You can only have half a sideways parabola as your function. You've got to choose the plus or the minus. The minus is appropriate because of the sketch. That's how I knew to choose this one. Top minus bottom, from there to there, gives me from this x value to that intersection x value, which I had to calculate with some technology. The alternative approach. Okay, now just thinking that you had to evaluate this. Would you like to integrate this? I do not even know a method that would be a good start for this. It's going to be horrible. That's also going to be a whole lot of work. You could also write it. There's variations. You could think of the second integral as being the, okay, you could take the whole from the pink one from -1 all the way to 2.2. That will include this little triangular bit here, and then I subtract that triangular bit. That's what I'm doing in this format. But this is the same thing. This is also dx. They're not nice. So here's the alternative. Turn your head and do it dy. Then I've got the big function, which is the one more to the big y side, minus the smaller function. How did I get this? I took this function, made x the subject. So this is from x equals this to x equals this. These expressions have y as the variable, and I'm going from y equals this to y equals that. Easy to do. The end.